everybody, how are you? So I want to discuss my project, well, the finale of my project. It did come with a few technological errors, things that are out of my control. So we all know and love technology, right? That's why we're taking this course. That's why we're, implementing these ideas that we have, and we're coming up with new ways that we can be productive in our fields using immersive technologies. During my presentation, I had a power outage, which then left me with no internet capabilities, and it kicked me out of my own presentation. What I was able to do and what technology did afford through using Mozilla Hubs was that I could enter on my cell phone. It did come with some glitchiness just due to lack of internet connection, but I still was able to come in and I did unfortunately miss concluding remarks from Jeff and Chris, but I was able to reconnect with Dr. O'Connor while being in my setting that I did create for you guys as well as for my students. Predominantly, that was the intent. My intent of my project was for, to create a room that not only my students could participate in, but also their adult partners. I have you guys right now behind me looking at Spoke. I did come up with, multiple different settings within Spoke for my project, and these are some of the three that did allow me to continue on my project. I did have to delete other ones that were taking up space, but they're here. And one of the great things that Spoke allows you to do is just continue saving these projects so that when the technology does keep up with the demands, I can then come back into it and redevelop these ideas and push them further into the integration of my classroom. So this was the room that I designed and I invited you guys into. So this one was based on emotional intelligence and getting my students to open up where their adult peers are able to come in and we can formulate ways to create a better future for my students. I also, created this lake, and I'm waiting for it to load, in which this is the problem within Spoke, is things that do take up a lot of time and data takes a little bit of time to enter. So once you're in Spoke, yes, it's easy to manipulate through an aerial view. It is kind of hard to actually design in the space in relevance to what's sitting up high, what's sitting up low, even when you are in, this room, figuring out how to position everything. If you want it flat up against the wall, using the different controls, it does have a little bit of a learning curve to it, something that I do need to remind myself of while I have participants in the room and expecting them to participate by putting up either images or pictures. Sometimes if I were to just create an object. Okay, so it is here in sitting in virtual space, and I have to try and get a hold of it to maneuver and place and pin. So it seems simple enough, but once you get into the rotation of it, I'm going to unpin it. You have to press a space bar, and it takes a little bit of time to figure out how precisely you want it to fit in the space. Seems easy enough, but when you're dealing with students and adult partners that might not be afforded usage of immersive technology, I have to keep on reminding myself that this is something possibly new for everybody else. So there is a learning curve and a building of knowledge even to enter into these spaces. Ways that I've envisioned the future of my classroom is I also started creating another space for the art room. And I'm going to enter the space. So I can, if I wanted to, keep this as a space for putting up, projects that we're working on and adding in images or videos. It does have this capability. And what's great is I could have students use it on the computers or cell phones. However, trying to enter into this space, because it is so large, it does not allow itself to be entered within a cell phone. That's the only downfall. And I can change up this room based on, what we're learning about, what type of experience I want my students to have within the art room. What kind of, are we learning how to paint? Are we learning how to create anything from political art to, things that connect to their emotions? They could enter into the space just with their code. And so it does open up a lot of possibilities within, teaching, not even just my, in-class, in-person learners, but also my learners that are not coming into the classroom, that are fully remote, or even my students that are dual learners coming in with me face-to-face, as well as, staying at home learning throughout the day. So there's a lot of potentiality for these spaces, and I hope to actually start diving into them even more, especially within Spoke. It affords itself to, using, I want to show you right here, spawn points. I started diving into that a little bit more as I entered into this space. And what I do like about this is I can click on certain aspects of it and it brings me right to here. So if I wanted to bring this wall up, actually I'm not sure what I'm looking at. There we go. Parts of the flooring right there. So it takes a little bit of time to get practice and to actually develop these worlds. But I think the ending result is something that is immersive for all students, especially where they are at right now technologically, how they're pretty advanced. And that is my concluding report. Thanks, guys, and take care.